Welcome back, guys. I have no idea what just happened to my YouTube crew. It just sent everybody to a completely different link. Went live, didn't go live on the link that I needed it to go live on. So now we're here. So appreciate you guys bearing with me. It seems like there's always some sort of technical difficulty aspect of everything. But appreciate you guys over on Kick as well. Jay LaFond, how's it going? What's up, Exotic? How we doing, guys? Scott, appreciate you being here. Ricardo, what's up, Kareem? How's everyone's Friday going? Man, I'm feeling good. For those of you who don't know, my co-host of Believe in Rams and Off the Edge, Cameron Lynch, was in town yesterday, so I had a chance to hang out with him. Got some, shout out to Toro, got some really good Mexican food there. Then we went live way later on because I passed out. Genius. Went live later on Kick, and we got a dub in Warzone. So anyone that knows what that is, that was pretty awesome. And now we're here. Quick thought on the Yankees. They make me, I don't know, want to stick my head into the nearest microwave oven. I think that's the best way to put it. Maybe my hand in a toaster. That's my thoughts on the Yankees right now. What's up, Jazz? How's it going, guys? Roy? Well, you're my guy, Roy, so appreciate you. I don't know why you're not mod. I'll make you mod. What's up, Giovanni? How we doing? Yeah, so I felt like going live, and initially I was gonna go with a JE live, kind of giving you a little bit of an idea of like, oh yeah, these are the players to look out for, in the preseason game. And I was like, you know what, this is kind of stupid. I'll do that tomorrow. And the reason I say that is because we actually had a little bit of news. You might have already assumed, right? Maybe I assumed, maybe you assumed. I don't know. If you're on YouTube, then you saw the thumbnail. You see Calvin Ridley from left to right, Calvin Ridley, Chase Young, and Josh Jacobs. Now, the Rams aren't acquiring those players right at this moment. They could down the road. But the point of this live stream, thank you so much for subscribing, Twin Topics. Appreciate you. The very point of this live stream is to discuss a little bit of next year. And I understand it sounds weird because we haven't even started 2023 yet. But Gilbert Manzano came out. Thank you so much for subbing. W Dirty, appreciate you. Gilbert Manzano comes out and he's like, look, okay. He interviews Les Snead. Les Snead's like, look, this year was kind of a reset year, right? So when you look at this year, it's a reset year. Appreciate the sub there, Sweatsy. Thank you. So this year was kind of a reset year, and that doesn't mean they're not going to try to win football games at the end of the day, and I think that's the important thing here. It's not like they're going to just give up on that mission. Thank you, Salex. But what is important here, folks, is that they are really going back to, at least this is from Snead's mouth, they're going back to what they want to do. And I have the actual quote here. Thank you, Diego. Appreciate you. From Gilbert Manzano of Sports Illustrated, Snead said, but this was a moment to take a pause so that we can continue being aggressive, quote unquote. He said, let's see here. We decided to use this year so we could really next year start doing exactly what we have done in the past. Now, some will look at this and gloss it over as PR, and maybe that's so. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you. Some people look over it and gloss over it, whatever. But, what I think here is that they are preparing to go back on the F them picks train. Now, I'm very curious what you guys think about that, because I found it very interesting. I started looking, you know me. I like doing my research. I like having my projects that no one assigned me to do, but I wanted to do anyway. And I started looking at the the market values over on Spotrac and the guys available in 2024. And I see, Kirk Cousins here. That doesn't really make sense. Stafford's under contract. Forget about the quarterbacks. Then I look over at, wide receiver. And you got Odell Beckham Jr., you got Mike Evans, you have guys like Tyler Boyd, guys like that, right? You have Mecole Hardman, you have Braxton Berrios, you got Jalen Reagor, you got Marquise Brown, Calvin Ridley, Mac Hollins. So there's some interesting names there. Running back is where it kind of takes off. And you got Josh Jacobs, you got Derrick Henry, Tony Pollard, Saquon Barkley. So there's a lot of names in the running back crop. Pass rusher, of course, Josh Allen, Chase Young, Nick Bosa. Obviously, I can't tell you. I don't need to tell you how big that would be if Nick Bosa failed to agree to a deal with the 49ers and he became a Ram. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that for a second? Imagine that right now. Like, that would be insane. So yeah, here's the deal, right? The deal is as followed. The Rams are going to have a lot of cap space next year, projecting upwards around $70 million. Now, they could bring back guys like we talked about, John Johnson. We've talked about that. Signed a 1-year veteran minimum to reset his value. He could come to the table next year, agree to a long-term deal with the Rams if it works out. Cam Akers. Melvin Gordon says Sean McVay will never pay a running back again. Sean McVay has never come out and said that publicly. I don't know how Melvin Gordon knows because Melvin Gordon's never been in a Rams building on a visit or to sign or anything like that. So Cam Akers could be an option. We could see Van Jefferson back. But it's interesting here because it almost adds a little bit of intrigue to this team this year and how much a really good season could influence them moving forward. I don't think Aaron Donald's retiring after the season, guys. I don't think Matthew Stafford's retiring, and obviously Cooper Kupp's not retiring. So that's your big three right there. Then you have a chance to go out and grab the next generation of Rams. And what I mean by that is, Chase Young, for instance, is 24. He'll be 25 soon. That would be a pretty big get, no? Nick Bosa would be a pretty big get. No. Is it likely that Bosa is available? Absolutely not. But Chase Young will be available. They did not pick up his 5th-year option, so he will hit free agency. The question is, will the Rams trade for him before he even has that chance? I don't know. But it's just fascinating here because it really flips the whole narrative that this team is tanking on its side. And I've always said that, and I kind of tried to explain that to people, whoever wanted to listen. They were never tanking. It wasn't an ego trip of mine. I was just being honest with you. They're not tanking, okay? It's not happening. I've been saying this over and over again, and now people are like, oh my God, I don't think the Rams are tanking anymore. It's like, no duh. All right, I've been on here saying it. You guys have been saying it. I mean, they're not tanking. They never were tanking. You don't have Sean McVay come back, after mulling retirement and decide this is the year. He's going to come back for a tank job. That's not going to happen. Matthew Stafford, who has a serious back injury coming into the season, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to come back for a tank job. No. It doesn't work that way. So it is a fascinating thing. I'm curious what you guys think. Definitely drop in the comments section below. I will be reading the comments and we'll have a little discussion here. But I thought it was a good icebreaker for our show today. I just think at the end of the day that, I think this is the right move. Now, here are my thoughts though, okay? Within reason. I don't want a full-on F them picks, fire sale of picks. I would like to see them more than not. I'd like to see them go out and be like, you know what? We're going to keep this guy. We're going to keep this guy. We're going to keep this guy. We're going to sign this guy on our team and then maybe go out and get a free agent here and there. I don't want to see them sell everything. Okay. And I think that's a big thing. Some people do. Personally, I think you can win a Super Bowl without superstars. I've said that. The Chiefs model, right? We look at the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, Jake, what about Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill? Well, here's what I would say, okay? They got rid of Tyreek Hill, okay? They traded him away. And the year they trade away Tyreek Hill, they win the Super Bowl. Now, does it take the fact away that Tyreek Hill is a top 5 receiver? Absolutely not. Does not take anything away from him. But let's not act like it's stars all the time. Like, if you have a team with very good players and then you have a star at the quarterback position, you got a star weapon, and you have a star interior defensive lineman, guess what? You're the Kansas City Chiefs. For lack of, obviously I could go into details there, but the point is Kansas City wins with rookie corners. Kansas City wins with a star quarterback in Patrick Mahomes, a star interior defensive lineman in Chris Jones, and of course a star weapon in Travis Kelce. They did move on from Tyreek Hill. Let's not forget that. So I think it's an important, distinction there that you can win in this league without just going star-studded. You don't have to play stars and scrubs at all. And, there's this misconception that the Rams did. They really didn't. Von Miller was available. He actually, at that point, was a little bit of a gamble, if you remember. He had a hard time staying healthy, and there was all sorts of stuff going on off the field, if you remember, that we never really found out about. But there was a lot of stuff in the air about Von Miller. It wasn't like he was dominating. It's not like they just went out and got a guy that had 20 sacks, Like, they were getting a guy who was probably starting to hit a wall a little bit for what a lot of people were saying. OBJ was cut. Like, they didn't trade for OBJ. It's not their fault that the Browns are dumb. They're a horrible organization, and they alienated Odell Beckham Jr., and he became available mid-season, and they pounced on it. I think what it really comes down to is you want to win another chip with Stafford, Donald, and Kupp. Is that a guarantee? No, it's not. But I do think they're putting themselves in a good position this year to set themselves up down the road. And this is where my caution kicks in, right? I like the F them picks thing. I also like sustained success. And I have to say, with caution, they're going to need to be careful here because, I think that you could run the risk of going too star driven, too star heavy, and having it kind of pile on top of you. You have a chance with this reset to pick and choose. And next year, there are going to be guys that become available. And now you can be a little picky. You don't have to go and get everyone just because they're a big name. If you want OBJ back, OBJ could be back next year. If you want Calvin Ridley, because I think he's going to have a great season, Calvin Ridley would be awesome in that Rams offense. If you want Mike Evans, veteran presence, you sign him to a 3-year deal. He's age 30 right now. You sign him to a 3-year deal. He plays for 3 years, the Cooper Cup, and you have that 6'5" body kind of doing what you wanted Allen Robinson to do, diversifying the wide receiver room. By all means, that's great. Like, I'm all for that, okay? But you got to be careful here. And that's what I can't stress enough. Because if you overdo it, you can do exactly what you did this past year and kind of set yourself up for, okay, now we have to tear it down again. I don't think that should be the goal. You have Sean McVay. I think you should do part of what you did, before. But I really think that it would be smart, at least in my opinion, it would be smart to still stick to the vest. Like, hey, we're going to build our team. We're going to get some players that we need. But at the end of the day, we're not going to go overboard here. We're going to stick to our routine. We're going to build sustained success. We don't want to go away. We don't want to have a 5-12 season. We don't want to ever be considered a team at the bottom of the league. And that is how I would look at it. Because I think it's really important here where, look, like, you do this reset, they go 10 or 11 wins like I'm predicting, right? They go to the playoffs, they have a nice little run like 2020, and then they come back in 2024 and they're right in the thick of things again. I think that's, without kind of going crazy with the star-driven stuff, then you could keep your cap kind of intact, and then you could keep this thing going. And now you kind of set yourself up behind Stafford. Like, everyone's so focused on Caleb Williams, but they're not seeing, like, this is not their mindset, okay? They're not thinking about Caleb Williams in the slightest. Caleb Williams does not cross the Rams' mind. He was never an option. It was never going to happen. It's why I said, with all due respect, let's stop talking about him. Let's just enjoy the college football season with him. If you're a USC fan, all the power to you, because I like USC as well. Not as much as Kansas, but I like USC as my second, college team. And I'm just telling you, just enjoy him. If you are a USC fan and a Rams fan, just enjoy Caleb Williams. He's not going to be a Ram coming out of the draft. Doesn't mean they won't sign him down the road or trade for him, but he's not gonna be drafted by the Rams, and that is okay. We can move on knowing he is not going to be a Ram. But it is fascinating the different things that could come up, the different things that could happen. And when I look at this Rams team, I just can't help but think, each day that goes by, I'm like, this team is really going to do it again. Sean McVay is really going to do it again. Do you remember 2017? Do you remember that team that went 4-12? They hired a 30-year-old fraternity brother. They hired a frat bro. They hired the golden boy coach. And I was all for it. And there were other people that are like, no, they should have gone with Kyle Shanahan. They should have gone with Doug Marrone. They should have gone with Matt Patricia. They should have gotten Bill Cowher or, John Gruden out of retirement. Well, guess what? We are in the same thing over again. I feel like this is deja vu. McVay's back. He has this clean slate about him. If you saw the Pivot podcast, you know what I'm talking about. I feel like this guy really kind of hashed it all out, what we've all been thinking. And he's like, look, I stopped appreciating what it meant to have, success because he had it so early on. Like 2017, he leads a team that hasn't seen the playoffs since 2004 to a home playoff game in the third seed in the playoffs. That's the first year he had as a head coach. He turned a team that hadn't been in the playoffs since 2004 into a hosting playoff team at the Coliseum. And they lose. And they lose to a team that was just in the Super Bowl a year ago. So, is that a horrible thing? I mean, it was annoying, but not horrible. And then the next year, he's in the Super Bowl. So you talk about a team that hadn't made the playoffs since 2004, and now he comes in and immediately with a quarterback that went 0-7, was called a bust every which way in Jared Goff. He comes in and now Jared has thrown 28 touchdowns. He looks good. He's comfortable. It's a night and day change on the offense. He added a few pieces for sure in free agency, but come on, man. Sean McVay did a banged up job. I think Wade Phillips did a nice job of getting Sean McVay prepared to be a head coach as well as, having guys like Joe Barry, so then you move on, 2018, of course, the Super Bowl, you lose, and then everyone's like Super Bowl hangover. I noticed something. No one talked about the Super Bowl hangover with the Bengals when they lost to the Rams. No one's talking about the Super Bowl hangover now to the Eagles, but for whatever reason, it's the Rams. And people are talking about the Super Bowl hangover when the Rams won. Do you think people are doing that with the Chiefs right now? No, people are penciling them in to win the Super Bowl again. It's kind of funny how that works. But regardless, not getting anybody in trouble for anything they didn't do or anything like that, the point I'm making here is that the Rams in 2019 missed the playoffs in a 6-team format, the last year of the 6-team playoff format. So they would have made the playoffs in any other year moving on. And then 2020, they come in. It's like the offense wasn't good. They struggled. I mean, they ran the ball well, but the passing attack was pretty abysmal. And they had the best defense in the league, and they get to the divisional round of the playoffs, and they lose to Aaron Rodgers and the Packers in Green Bay, which is a hard place to win in general. So then they move on. They go out and get Stafford right before the Super Bowl that season. We get that news, and they win the Super Bowl. And then it took all sorts of craziness to derail a team that looked like they lost Von Miller. OBJ couldn't sign because he got hurt. Different things happened. And yet this team, regardless of what anyone says, what anyone wants to believe, because they didn't watch this team, I'm sorry, as soon as it was obvious the Rams weren't a good team on the mainstream media eyes, then they were just like, all right, we're not watching this team anymore. So take that for what it is as well. You guys watch the Rams. I know because I saw you guys after every post game talking about them. I saw you guys constantly repping them. I see everybody in the comment section, like, you guys watched the Rams. The mainstream media did not. So why should we care about what their opinion is of this team when they didn't even watch them? If I were to go on like an ESPN or Fox or whatever, and I were to say that the Rams were actually at least in every single game by at least one score, so they were down at least one score, not two, one score, going into the fourth quarter in every game except for the Chargers game, they would not believe me. They would say I'm making it up. The Rams were in every single game except for the Chargers game going into the fourth quarter. And you want to tell me Stafford playing a full season, Kupp and Donald playing a full season doesn't change that? Maybe at that point, we're not talking about playoffs, but we're at least talking about a 7-8 win team. Okay? And that 7-8 win team isn't getting the crap they're getting right now. But the problem is they had injuries. The offensive line was never healthy. And now you just hear and people are like, the offensive line is a problem. The offensive line is trash. The offensive line is this. The offensive line is that. No, it's not. Okay? Alec Jackson has played good football, and if he is the left tackle, that's not, oh, here's the Rams busting again. Oh, they spent all that money on Joe Noteboom, and they're a bust. You know, oh, the Lambs. Or Alec Jackson's the better player, and they're playing the better player at left tackle. Do you know who else does that? Regardless of title or money or anything? Bill Belichick. It's why his Patriots team was good for so many years consistently, because he wouldn't be afraid to draft a first-round pick and then be like, you know what, that seventh-round pick actually is a little bit better. I should probably play him. There was no politics with Bill Belichick. He played the best players on the field. And so if Alec Jackson is the best player at the left tackle position, he will start because that's what Sean McVay wants. There's no politics here. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I hear, what difference does a second-round rookie make? Oh, boy. You have not watched Steve Avila tape, have you? You have not watched Steve Avila, period. Steve Avila could single-handedly change everything about the offensive line. He is the biggest acquisition of the entire season, no doubt about it. Steve Avila is going to be a monster. I think he's a day one plug-and-play starter. We're going to see him play in preseason. I'm very excited about that. He needs those reps, so I understand some people will be worried about the injuries, and I get it, but he needs those reps. Avila is going to help you in the run game. He's going to help you in the passing game. He is very, very stout in pass pro. This is somebody that only gave up 1 sack in over 900 snaps. You're not giving this guy enough credit if you're just saying he's just a rookie. He's beyond a rookie. And he's a natural center that was asked to play guard for the betterment of the TCU football team. And he did it. And he did it at a high level. So what that tells me is that he's going to be a plug-and-play guard, and maybe down the road, he ends up being the franchise center. And if that's the case, man, that's even better than what you could have asked for. So Avila is going to be a problem. I don't care what anyone says. And it's going to be a problem for defenses. So you got Avila, that big body. You got Alec Jackson. Center, it sounds like Coleman Shelton could win that job. I don't know if you saw Jordan Rodriguez's latest article. It sounds like Coleman Shelton can win that job. Very much sounds that way. So I'm very excited about that. That is something that I'm looking forward to because I think Brian Allen would be a good backup center, really good backup center. I think he's probably one of the best backup centers in the league. But Coleman Shelton is the most readily available. He stays healthy, all of that. So that's what I like about Coleman Shelton. I'm all about availability when it comes to the offensive line. And I think there's also a question whether or not Coleman Shelton is better or, better than Brian Allen anyway. So when you factor in the fact that he's always healthy, he's always on the field, more consistent than Allen, then yeah, he should be the guy. So I feel good about those two, those three. Then you have the right guard position where have you seen? So there's this new thing I've seen, like 49ers fans are like quote tweeting Jordan Rodriguez saying this team's going to be trash. And it's like every which way, right? Like, and they're like, oh, the Lambs made a mistake again with Joe Noteboom. Joe Noteboom, let me break this down for you. If Joe Noteboom plays right guard, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Okay? How about instead of getting on them for Joe Noteboom and that signing, we give him credit that Alec Jackson, a UDFA, a guy who was not drafted, all 32 teams passed on him 7 times, well, more than 7 times, but 7 rounds, 260 plus picks ahead of Alec Jackson. Alec Jackson is a guy that they found in UDFA, and they've done such a nice job to develop him that he is actually competing as a starting left tackle. That's not a knock on Joe Noteboom, who we've seen compete at a high level. when need be. He had a bad year last year. He barely played last year, and he was hurt. First game, he admitted. He got hurt his first game. So how about let's just give some credit to the Rams finding an Alec Jackson and being willing to play that player. And let's also give them credit for, hey, you know what? If Noteboom is good enough to play right guard, we're going to put him in there. Because I can tell you, most organizations aren't run that way, guys. Joseph Noteboom, a third-round pick, Alex Jackson, UDFA. Noteboom is starting on half the teams in the league in that scenario. It's the teams that truly want to win. It's the teams that don't care about the political BS in their locker room and in the front office and all that. It's the teams that don't care about having an ego. They're the ones that will play Alex Jackson over Joe Noteboom. That's just the way it is. So, look, offensive line, and then you have Rob Havenstein at right tackle. But I just saw that, and look, there's not even a guarantee Noteboom will start. And that's okay, because that means, again, everyone focuses on the negative. How about let's look at the fact a 7th round, undersized, short in length tackle, Tremaine Ankrum, who's dealt with injuries and he's battled through it. Let's pat them on the back for that. This guy's a chance to start. Like, are you kidding me? And keep this in mind. This is important here. Ryan Wendell came outside of the organization. So big ups to him for not like wanting to blow up the whole offensive line. He came in here as an outside guy. He comes in and he's like, I like him. I like him. He's pretty good. Like, what does that tell you? Like, I mean, he was just with the Bills. So I think that's something there that I understand the criticism and I'll definitely critique, but I don't think that's something we should be critiquing, because I think if you want to, crap on them for Noteboom and you're not going to give them credit for, guys like I just mentioned, like an Alec Jackson, UDFA, developing a 7th round tackle that probably wouldn't be on most teams' rosters after his first season, and Tremaine Ankrum into a starter. If you don't want to give him credit for that, then you're just kind of being a hater, no? So I think that's the important thing there. And that's what I'll say about that. I see Darren, and I'm going to get to all the comments. Wow, you guys it's loaded today. It is a happy Friday. It is a fun Friday. Darren, can't wait for Byron Young to benefit from AD Mob Squad reloading. So that is going to be a blast to watch him. He's rocking number 0. For those of you who don't know, that is only the second time an LA Ram has rocked number 0. The first time, I don't even think it was an LA Ram, actually. The Rams weren't in. They were not in LA in 45. The last one is what the hell is his name? Bogardus? I cannot remember. It was Steve Baggaris, 1947. So I think they might have been. No, they were in Cleveland. So Byron Young rocking that 0, Agent 0, got him on the Rams. It's some cool stuff there. You love to see it. But yeah, he's going to be fun to watch. He'll play in preseason, no doubt about it. He'll play. So I'm excited about that. I just think that when you look at this whole 2024 thing that I'm bringing up with Les Snead, to come out and say that, I think it's really interesting. I think it's really interesting when you look at it, because they have pieces here where if a Darian Kendrick takes that next step, Jacoby Durant becomes a star. Trey Tomlinson is fighting for a roster spot, or fighting for a starting job, which I found out, not just a roster spot like some might have thought. He's fighting for a starting job. When you have those guys in the secondary that can develop, you have Ernest Jones, maybe you sign him to a long-term deal this offseason if you like what you see. You have the guys in the interior. I mean, there are 8 guys that they should probably keep on the defensive line. It's going to be hard to cut any of them. I mean, obviously Donald you're not cutting, and Kobe Turner and Ernest Brown. We're hearing about Ernest Brown the 4th and how maybe this guy's taking a leap forward. Those are good things to hear, and I just think, at the end of the day, there's a lot that they could find out this year with this team that's going to make next year and building upon this season that much easier. And so what you might think is a need right now might turn out to not be a need. And I think that's the beauty of the NFL, is because we'll always go into it on paper, right? We'll look at teams like, this team doesn't look good. But then, for instance, the casual fan that looked at the Eagles and, they saw that last year when they were going to start Jordan Mailata. Okay, and they're probably like, who the hell is this Jordan Mailata? And so they go in their mock draft and they're like, oh, the Eagles need to draft a tackle. And they don't. And they're like, why didn't the Eagles draft a tackle? They have Jordan Mailata. Just because you don't know who that is doesn't mean he isn't good. And what we found out, I kind of suspected this. I've been a fan of his for a while, just saying. Jordan Mailata, we found out, could play ball, to put it lightly. He is a top 10 tackle in football, and the Eagles knew what they were doing. But it's one of those things where it's like, man, I don't know about this Jacoby Durant guy. That like Rams fans aren't saying that, but outsiders are. And that's why I feel like this team is more ahead of where people have them. And so I think 2024, I've been saying I think 2025 they'll be in the Super Bowl and win it. I think they could win it in 2024. And, I was having this conversation with my father yesterday. We went for a walk and we were just talking about the team. And he thinks they have a shot to win it this year. And I mean, Father Ellenbogen is not he's not a homer. Okay, this guy, like, I get all my knowledge and just like my mindset and everything. I mean, I get it from him. He was doing this when he was younger, obviously not with a camera and a microphone and all that, but he does like research for fun. That's where I get that from, like random research projects. And so, it's one of the things like where you ask yourself if Matthew Stafford has, I don't know, his best season of his career, what does that mean for the Rams? Like, do you think they're really only going to win 6 games? I mean, that's the thing. I think that all of these Vegas odds, people are betting on Stafford getting hurt. They're not actually betting on Stafford being bad. And I had that realization. I don't think people think Stafford sucks. I don't think people think Stafford's washed. I just think they think he's going to get hurt, which to me is a losing bet. Because if you're betting on somebody to get injured, I mean, that's essentially, first off, that's weird. Don't do that. It's so weird. But if you're betting on somebody to get hurt, it's kind of a weird bet, no? I don't know. I've been thinking about that. And I'm like, I think really people are just like, yeah, Stafford's going to get hurt and I'm going to get the under 6.5. And I'm not so certain if somebody like Stetson Bennett gets thrown into the fire, I'm not so certain they can't win 7 games. If Staff went down early in the season, I think Bennett, with what they have in the offense, I think they could win 7 games, which would be over the 6.5. I think the 6.5 is egregiously horrible. But that's just my take. I thought it was funny though. I don't watch any of these shows, as you know, but First Take had a clip. Shout out to Matt Miller of ESPN, who kind of, wrote the right, I guess. I don't even know what I'm saying, but he was the voice of reason anyway. And basically, this clip was, where is it? I don't think, I did quote tweet it. No, I shared it. Okay, so Matt Miller quote tweets the First Take clip. He's at ESPN, keep in mind. It's like, Matthew Stafford, dude balled out on some bad Lions teams. Rams still have weapons. Just got to keep him upright. He's right. Absolutely right. First Take was like, which NFL quarterback will have the bounce back season? And all 3 of these people picked quarterbacks other than Matthew Stafford. You had Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, and Deshaun Watson. Bold move, by the way, ever giving Deshaun Watson any credit. It is going to be tough to do that in the media. It's hard. Like, he is just, I cannot stand him. But obviously, going to put my personal biases aside when covering a team. It is hard, though. It's very hard. But, all 3 of those guys, not one mention of Stafford. And you have Madden rating him a 22nd out of all quarterbacks. It just feels to me, well, that I think that's the worst one, in my opinion. Because when Madden rates him like 22nd, they rate him a 75. That's not injury. Like, injury doesn't affect the rating, so they just genuinely don't believe in him. But I think a lot of people just think he's going to get hurt. But it's very interesting for sure. And I think you ever how would I say this? Life gives you all sorts of obstacles. You ever have something that happens in your life that you just never prepared for? You're like, I never prepared for this, and I probably should have. That was me. I got a flat tire for my car. I had never really prepared like to buy additional tires or anything like that, so I wasn't really ready for it. I don't think a lot of these analysts are preparing for what happens if Stafford stays healthy. That's what, like, I don't, that's where I'm getting at. Like, I don't know what the mainstream's going to do if Stafford stays healthy. I don't, because if Stafford stays healthy, he's not falling off. Okay. He's not old enough to fall off yet. If Stafford stays healthy and Mike LaFleur ends up being a great offensive coordinator hire, and we find out really it was Liam Cohen all along, the NFL's in some trouble. I'll tell you that right now. And also, I'll add another thing to this. What is the media going to do if Matthew Stafford's healthy, the Rams are good, and the 49ers actually, for the first time in the Kyle Shanahan era, really start to feel like the quarterback thing is actually going to get to them? Brock Purdy had 3 interceptions yesterday in camp, and I don't really care about camp interceptions to me, so I didn't make a big deal about Dak Prescott throwing 3 or whatever, because at the end of the day, you're trying different things. But all I've ever seen is that none of the quarterbacks have had a good camp. I've actually seen more positive stuff about Trey Lance with Niners fans on Twitter than I have about anybody. But then the media pushes Brock Purdy. So it's like, you know, we can look at interceptions and all that all we want, but I think at the end of the day, it's kind of like what I was saying. I mean, you're trying new things out that maybe you wouldn't try in a game. Interception shouldn't be the end all be all. What's up, BB? How's it going? Appreciate you being in here over on Kick. But yeah, you know, I think it is one of those things where it's like, eventually, even though it didn't affect you last year and so forth, eventually the 49ers having to figure out their quarterback situation and not figuring it out is going to affect them. It may not be right now, but it will eventually. And so I think that's the thing. It's like, do they trade Trey Lance this year? I mean, I'll tell you right now, I'm not out on Trey Lance. Brock Purdy, I'm not out on either. I mean, he could come out and be great next year, and then it just totally... But I kind of have a feeling we've seen this movie before. I saw somebody call Brock Purdy's ascension last year to stardom, essentially, Linsanity, where Jeremy Lin had that crazy month when he was on the Knicks where he would drop 30 or 40 points and they fell off the face of the earth. I could kind of see that. Now that Brock Purdy has, you know, actual like film on him, I could absolutely see him falling off. Sam Darnold. All right, this is the thing I got to say. I have to say this. I like Sam Darnold. I want him to be successful from the USC Trojans. But here's the reality. Sam Darnold has never been viewed as anything more than just he could be good, he's not good. Okay? And now that he's on the Niners, people are like, I don't know. He's got a good chance. I mean, why? Why does he have a good chance? You know, we saw a quarterback who had more success in this league than Sam Darnold. Matthew Staffgoat, appreciate you so much for the 5. Thoughts on Stetson Bennett breaking out tomorrow? How dumb will the media look? That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Imagine Stetson going off like 200-something yards. I don't know, because at this point, I think right now the thought is Stetson would start by the fans, but I think the coaches haven't ruled out starting Brett Rippon. There's a legit battle, I guess, for number 2. Stetson's not missing the roster, but yeah, it would be cool to have him just throw the rock all over the yard and, you know, give the Chargers some fits. I would definitely enjoy that. The fun thing about Saturday, the last time Stetson Bennett played a full football game, was the national title game in which he trounced TCU led by Max Duggan. Guess who is going to be playing quarterback for the Chargers this Saturday? Max Duggan. Guess who's going to be playing quarterback for the Rams? Stetson Bennett. So I thought that was kind of a cool little thing that, I don't know, I mean, they probably didn't know ahead of time. It was just like one of those coincident things. So kind of cool there. But yeah, again, to what I'm saying, you know, back to the Rams point, and again, thank you so much for the 5. I appreciate you. Back to the Rams point. The Rams have Blake Bortles. Now, you might have just laughed in your chair wherever you are, but the fact of the matter is Blake Bortles was a few plays away from going to a Super Bowl. And at one point, he had 33 touchdowns in a season passing. He's had more success than Sam Darnold. Okay? When Blake Bortles went to the Rams, no one was like, Sean McVay is going to get all of this stuff out of Blake Bortles. He's going to fix him. But miraculously, Sam Darnold's getting that treatment. I don't know why, but he is. You can't tell me he's not. See, here's the thing. I'm going to look at the age because I haven't looked at the ages yet, but that's what it reminds me of. It's like this double standard. So, okay, get this. So when Blake Bortles joined the Rams, we never heard a peep about how he could be something, right? 27 years old when he joined the Rams, already having more success than Sam Darnold. So then we look at Sam Darnold, okay? And Sam Darnold right now is 26 years old. Isn't that amazing? Roger, thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks for the $5 as well. I really appreciate that. Going to the game tomorrow, anything specific I should look for? Also, anyone here in the chat sitting in section 130 tomorrow? I love this little like link up thing in the comment section. That's great. I hope you find somebody there because that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, so as far as that goes, I think you should be looking for number 13, Stetson Bennett. I think you should be looking for Puka Nacua. I think you should be looking for... I don't think Atwell is going to play, so I think Nacua, Stetson, big number 0, agent 0, Byron Young. The whole secondary should be a lot of fun to watch. So, yeah, that's what I would say for now. And then maybe number 54, Kaleshi Anyulabechi. That's kind of like my dark horse guy. I still have him missing the roster, but I think he's got a shot. So you guys know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm saying, though, the narrative? So, like, my point, Sam Darnold, 2nd overall quarterback, Blake Bortles, 3rd overall quarterback in the respective drafts. Blake Bortles is 27 when he goes to the Rams. No one is thinking Sean McVay can revitalize his career. They're like career backup. Sam Darnold goes to Kyle Shanahan's 49ers with Trey Lance already there, Brock Purdy already there, and people are like, I think Kyle Shanahan is going to turn Sam Darnold's career entirely around. Why? Like, why? Can I just, like, why? He's 26. Like, it's the same... It's almost the same situation, the same scenario as Blake Bortles. Because guess what? Get this. Blake Bortles started the game. He started the season before that. And guess what? Blake Bortles, before he became a Ram, started more games this season before that than Sam Darnold did. So what is this narrative? Why is it that Kyle Shanahan gets all this credit that Sean McVay doesn't get? No one was giving Sean McVay the doubt over Blake Bortles. And I'm not saying he should have. Blake Bortles never played. He got in for 2 snaps in 2019. My point, though, is that it just seems ridiculous to me. It seems ridiculous to me because at the end of the day, Sam Darnold is a 21-34 quarterback that has a career completion percentage below 60%. He's got 61 touchdowns to 55 interceptions, and he has a passer rating of 78.2. So why is it that instantly we think Kyle Shanahan is going to elevate him? I just don't understand why he gets more of the benefit of the doubt than Sean McVay gets for turning around Jared Goff's career. By the way, Blake Bortles has an 80.6 passer rating. 80.6. 103 touchdowns and 75 interceptions. 59.3 completion percentage. It is literally the same thing. I mean, that's the double standard BS that bothers me, because there's clearly this double standard with Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan, and I don't know why, but you can't tell me there's not. There's clearly a double standard here with Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan. Sean McVay's the one with the rings, the ring. He's been in 2 Super Bowls. Shanahan's been in 1. McVay has a Super Bowl ring. Shanahan doesn't. McVay is 1-0 against Shanahan in the playoffs. I don't understand. I don't get it. Are you going to give Kyle Shanahan credit for developing Jimmy Garoppolo and not give Sean McVay credit for developing Jared Goff? Let's look at Jimmy Garoppolo's statistics, shall we? I mean, while we're at it, let's just compare him and Jared Goff. Because, that's the thing. It's why is it that Kyle Shanahan gets all this credit for developing talent? Is it because Matt Ryan won the MVP the year he was the OC with the Falcons? That's the same offensive coordinator that blew a 21-0 lead because his play calling was abysmal. His play calling was so bad. And also, he forgot to apparently give any sort of protection adjustment to the right side of the offensive line. Kyle Shanahan chokes. That's what he does. But it's always, and I actually like the guy, as a football mind. I respect him. I just don't understand why he gets held to this standard. And I mean, all right, let's look at this, right? Goff has played 100 games. 100 games. He's 54, 45, and 1. He's got a 64.2 completion percentage for his career, 25,854 yards, 155 touchdowns, and 70 interceptions. 7.4 yards per attempt, okay? Jimmy Garoppolo with Kyle Shanahan, right? He's 38-17, played in 57 games. He's got a 67.6 completion percentage. He's also thrown way short of the sticks. 82 touchdowns, 42 interceptions, and he has a 99.2 passer rating, okay? And Goff has a 92.8. So here's my thing for you. All right. Why is it again, is Garoppolo horrible? No, he's absolutely not horrible. He's a starting caliber quarterback at the very end of that thing. But my point, are those stats that much different? Is Garoppolo much better than Jared Goff? No. I don't think he's better than Jared Goff. I'll say that. So why is it that Kyle Shanahan gets credit? Why is it that Kyle Shanahan's the one that develops quarterbacks and Sean McVay doesn't? I mean, what if I told you that Sean McVay took a kid out of the AAF and John Wolford, who was going to be on Wall Street, and turned him into the backup quarterback and let him start a few games? He took an AAF quarterback and made him into an NFL backup. That's development. What did Kyle Shanahan do? They drafted a 3rd-round quarterback in C.J. Beathard, and they never got anything out of him. He was a bust. They drafted him ahead of George Kittle, his teammate, 2 rounds ahead of him. He didn't get anything out of him. So really what it is, it's this Brock Purdy emergence. That, if I want to be that guy, I'll be that guy, didn't amount to anything. They didn't win a Super Bowl. They didn't win an NFC title game. It doesn't matter. And if Brock Purdy falls off a cliff this year, then what has Kyle really done? Think about it. If they're sitting there, middle of the season, the defense is built for Kyle yet again by, you have John Lynch going out and building a defense. You have top-notch defensive coordinator after top-notch defensive coordinator. At what point are we going to start giving Kyle Shanahan the pressure that Sean McVay gets, despite the fact that Sean McVay's younger, is more accomplished, and is just a better coach? I don't understand it. No idea. I don't understand. Do you get my analogy now? Do you get why I don't understand this whole Sam Darnold thing? Do I want Sam Darnold to succeed in the NFL? You bet I do. I liked him. I loved watching him at USC. He's on the second team, college team that I root for. But why does Kyle Shanahan get credit for that before it's even happened? Why are we assuming anything? We didn't assume with Blake Bortles going to Sean McVay. It was probably the same deal. I can look it up. Maybe it was a little bit different. I think they probably signed Darnold to a 2-year deal. Okay, one with 4.5. Okay, and then Blake Bortles contract. Blake Bortles signed a... Who the hell is... What? He didn't sign with the Saints, did he? Never played for them. Okay, he signed a veteran minimum deal with the Rams. But my point is, I don't understand this. Sam Darnold is going to be this and that when he's never shown that. And again, I'm rooting for him. I want him to do well in the league as a football fan, but I don't understand why Kyle Shanahan gets these passes. And Sean McVay doesn't need passes because he's already proven the damn thing and people don't want to give him the credit. I don't understand that. Call me crazy. I don't get it. Never have. I've never understand this double standard. It's really weird. You know what else is weird? I've barely answered questions and we've been streaming for an hour. That's unlike me. So let's get on that. Okay. Go from the bottom up. We'll try that. Because it's going to be ridiculous at this point. I didn't realize how many comments you guys had. Holy hell. Hoping McVay breaks the hex that Shanahan has over him. Yeah, I think he might get one win this year. If they don't get quest for 6 this year, then Kyle Shanahan is an underachiever just like Jim Harbaugh. Remember when McVay inherited Goff from Fisher and Kyle Shanahan traded for his guy in Garoppolo? Yeah, me neither. Let's see. Jimmy G is only quarterback in the league to get a safety and throw a pick 6 in the same play. San Fran's done this year. We got him. Agree with you, but the head-to-head win-loss is not good for McVay. And that's true, but at the same time, who cares? I mean, the Saints have Tom Brady's number, but when push came to shove, did the Saints beat Tom Brady in the playoffs? No. That's the thing. For whatever reason, the Saints have always given Tom Brady fits. I don't know if he's scared of the uniform or he was scared of the insignia on the helmet. He has always been given fits by the Saints. But Tom Brady beat them to go to the Super Bowl and win. So who cares, you know? Remember when McVay inherited Goff from Fisher? Oh, yeah, I saw that. Niners are the new Packers, make it in the playoffs just to lose. I love it. Shanahan is riding daddy's coattails. 49ers fans talking their nonsense again. Yeah. Exactly. Mike and Kyle are two different people entirely. But if we are being honest, McVay can honestly say his grandfather is the tree he is under. Yeah, that's true. Goff greater than Jimmy G. I agree. Gropp had better defenses. Also agree. Kyle Shanahan is the Doc Rivers of the NFL. So I like this and I dislike it. Here's why. Okay. And guys, be sure to hit the thumbs up button, also known as the like button. It really does help me out. We got 58 people in here. Goal is always to hit 100. Then more people come in and, you know, it does well as a standalone video after I'm done streaming. So that's the grand thing about it. Also, be sure to follow me on Kick if you haven't already. I stream there every night. And we'll be doing our watch parties there. We'll be doing it on here as well. But we'll be doing watch parties there. If you guys like Call of Duty, I play a lot of that. I'll play other stuff as well. I'm a variety streamer. And keep this in mind, I'm going to be doing film breakdown on there. So be sure to follow me on Kick. We're giving away an NFL jersey if you follow me and my guy Gary Sheffield Jr. So I will put the link. Let's see. I don't know what. Let's see. We've got the There we go. Perfect. So yeah, be sure to do that. Anyway, Floyd mad, just like Marcus Peters was mad. It's part of the business. Oh, that Leonard Floyd thing, I don't care about. Can I just say that now? I do not care. I saw people were asking about that, and like they were kind of painting him in a negative light. I think he was taken out of context. I don't think he was trying to disrespect anybody. And is he wrong? Who was behind Leonard Floyd last year? Leonard Floyd is playing all 17 games. We knew he was banged up to start the season. He had nobody behind him, so he was literally playing injured because injured Leonard Floyd was that much better than the next guy. And that's the thing that I think he was trying to get at. Then people took it as if he was taking shots at Jalen Ramsey, and I'm like, he didn't mean quite literally behind him. He did not mean behind him. He meant behind him on the depth chart. There was nobody pushing him. I knew exactly what he was talking about. See, with the Bills, they got him, they got Von Miller, they got Russo, they got, damn it, I forget the guy's name. But they got all sorts of guys, okay? The point is that, like, he was saying their depth chart is big. That's all he was saying. He wasn't trying to trash the Rams, and he was right. Their depth chart was enormous. Have you seen the Bills' edge depth chart? It's nuts. It's nuts. It really is. And that's what he was talking about. That's all he was saying. He was not trying to be disrespectful. Maybe it comes off that way, but he didn't mean literally behind him. It wasn't a dig at Ramsey. It wasn't a dig at Wagner. It wasn't a dig at anybody other than the guys on the depth chart. And I don't even think it's meant to be a dig. I think he's just saying it's exciting to actually have to fight for a starting job when it was clearly going to be his and the Rams no matter what. You know, I mean, Daniel Hardy's not beating him out, and I like Daniel Hardy. He was not beating him out, you know? That's all he was saying. Chris Garrett, I mean, there were guys, but yes, there were human beings that were fighting for jobs. They were not a threat to dethrone Leonard Floyd. That's what he was saying. But on this team, you got Von Miller, AJ Epinesa, Shaq Lawson, Greg Russo, Leonard Floyd, Boogie Basham. And they also got Shane Ray. So yes, he wasn't trying to crap on the Rams. He was just saying, man, this is a lot of depth. I'm going to have to fight for my life to get on the field. I mean, he's basically just giving them credit. There's nothing wrong with that. He did not mean any disrespect, and I am not going to trash Leonard Floyd. And I don't think fans should either, because I think he gave his all. You know, the last thing the one thing I'll say, the last thing I'm going to do is trash anybody who was a veteran player who was playing their ass off week 18 of the NFL season that was lost. This team went 5-12, and you had Jalen Ramsey, Leonard Floyd, and Bobby Wagner putting it all on the line in meaningless games. I mean, meaningless games. The game checks are nice and all, but come on. They didn't even need those game checks. They put their bodies on the line. They risked serious injury in meaningless games while Donald, Kupp, and Stafford were on the sidelines. Those guys have the utmost respect from me. The last thing I'm going to do is trash Leonard Floyd. That man deserves a lot of credit. He was always a decent player on the Bears. And I guess some people would say he was a bust first rounder, but he's a good run defender. Leonard Floyd was top 7 down the stretch in pressures. Now, we always hear Leonard Floyd is a product of AD. Well, Aaron Donald wasn't playing those games, and he was still producing. Leonard Floyd is underrated as far as I'm concerned. And that's what I'll say that. You know, I had to give my guy a little shout out. Let's see. The way I took it was the Bears and Rams put more workload on him because of the lack of depth, trust in the guys behind him, and that equates to him not getting as many breaks in between reps. It's exactly the point of it. Floyd was not trying to be a jerk. I see too many people giving him crap when, like I said, this guy put his body on the line in just a useless year. When it was obvious the season was over, Jalen Ramsey easily could have just done the veteran thing and be like, I'm out, I have an injury, and he wouldn't have had to specify it. The Rams would have put him on IR. It happens all the time. Those older veterans will sit out. He didn't, though, and neither did Floyd, and neither did Wagner. So I hope Floyd kicks ass this year. And remember, the Rams got rid of Floyd. Floyd didn't demand a trade. The Rams got rid of him. So, that's another thing. Let's see. People treat McVay the way they do because they are jealous that the guy came out of nowhere, took our franchise, which had been in the shitter, to immediate relevancy in a championship. Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is the same dudes that are always like, oh, this is the next Sean McVay, never want to give Sean McVay his due. Yes, appreciate you, Darren. Smash the like button. Let's get to a hundo. I think after this, I'm going to play some Warzone. So if anyone wants to join my Kick channel, 351 people have joined. It's a lot of fun. Pinned comment there. Let's see. He looked really good in his last 5 games. You're right, Jared Goff, absolutely. Exactly. Sean's coaching tree has outperformed Kyle's, no doubt. Any news on Zach Evans? I mean, he's fighting for a roster spot. I think there's a chance he's going to play significant time. I would probably say Kyron Williams and Cam Akers sit out. It would be Ronnie Rivers probably starting, him or Zach Evans or Royce Freeman, but it's going to be those 3, I think, battling it out for a roster spot. I think they're only going to keep 3 running backs. They might sign a vet at the end of preseason, but that's how I see it. Proven quarterback guru Kyle Shanahan is going to turn Darnold's career around. Yep. Darnold's win percentage can turn around, but he still won't be anything more than a game manager. Yeah, Mark Xavier, he still can make those fun throws, and he has mobility, but it's like, I'm glad you guys are seeing what I'm seeing, because I'm not trying to trash the guy. By all means, if he works out, he works out. I'm rooting for him. But it just, the Kyle Shanahan constant, he'll figure it out. It's all good. Don't worry, Kyle got him. Like, why? Like, yeah, I don't know. It's a little ridiculous. Let's see. Zone play action out of the 11 personnel is all the rage now. Every team runs it in the ground. It was Goff's only trick in the bag. That's why McVay-Goff saga had to end. This is true. I don't know if it's me. I don't think Purdy is that good. I feel like he just throws passes, and he's lucky the weapon San Francisco has bails him out. So I'll say this. What Brock Purdy put on film last year is that of a franchise quarterback. Okay, you will not have me tearing that down, because I think he definitely has a franchise quarterback argument based on the tape he had. Now, I might be a little bit of a hypocrite, but I kind of feel like I don't know if this is going to translate, because it was 7-8 games. It was a nice run, but those teams, they didn't have anything on him. They only had his Iowa State film. And I'll just say this right now. If Brock Purdy, if teams have an actual plan of attack, and they have his tendencies now on tape, and they figure him out, he is going to fall off a cliff. So it's a matter of, can he make those adjustments when defenses are making those adjustments? And that is what will let us know if this guy is going to make it in the league or not. It's very simple. That's what it comes down to. He'll either make it in the league or he won't, but it's going to be based on that. If he can make adjustments and play off the fact defenses are already making adjustments to his style of game, then he'll be fine. Willie, will Davis Allen play tomorrow? I hope so. Man, that would be fun to watch Davis Allen just go off. That would be fun. I think they're going to give the starting nod to Stetson, but they are mulling using Rippon. So that should be interesting. What innovating schemes has McVay brought to the Rams that other coaches have copied? I mean, I think a lot of the teams are copying the Rams, their defensive usage. Well, a lot of the 11 personnel groupings and such that the Sean McVay does, but I mean the defensive stuff, the soft shell with the star. I mean, they're playing the 3-3-5. I think a lot of teams are doing that. And what we saw is because the Rams went so balls to the wall with that defense, a lot of teams copied. And since a lot of teams copied, they also figured out that, hey, you can run against this defense. It's easier to run against now. And so I think a lot of teams, what we saw was kind of a renaissance of, you know, the run game last year that I think could kind of fall back down to earth. But it was pretty interesting. Because like we saw like Josh Jacobs, I mean, that looked like we were in 2006 again, where running backs were going over 1,400 yards or whatever. It's like now you don't really see that often. Question, with Caleb Williams off the board next year, which 3 quarterbacks would you take? That is a great question, Mark Xavier. That is a great question. What 3 quarterbacks would I take? Well, I'll tell you number 1. I don't care if it's bias. I think he's going to be up there for Heisman Trophy winner, and I think he fits this new age passing era. I think he's very similar to Jalen Hurts. Kansas quarterback Jalen Daniels. Okay. Jalen Daniels is an absolute stud. Great athleticism. This is somebody that, I think can make any throw. And I think he's only going to get better. And I think Jalen Daniels is the guy to look out for at Kansas. But there's also a Daniels to look out for at LSU. And not to be confused with Jalen Daniels, and I don't believe they're related, Jaden Daniels out of LSU. Those are 2 guys that I'm looking at. And then I would probably say Milton from Tennessee. Those are the 3 quarterbacks that I'm looking at. And that can change, but I think those 3 are pretty rock solid. I'm most excited to watch those 3 this year because everyone's going to be watching May. Everyone's going to be watching Caleb Williams. I'm going to be watching Caleb Williams because I'm a USC fan, so I'll already watch him. But the 3 that I'm most excited about are Jalen Daniels, Jaden Daniels, and Joe Millen. That's what I'm excited about. Since 2000, the teams to play in the most Super Bowls: 1, Patriots, 2, Rams. Yep, exactly. Bo Nix ain't bad. I haven't watched a ton of Bo Nix, to be honest with you. He's on Oregon, right? Yeah, Joe Milton kind of is of the same style, I guess, as an Anthony Richardson. And I think to have those 2 coming out in back-to-back years tells me that's where the league is going. That's the direction we're going in. More wide receivers, more running backs, more like elite athletes are being asked to play quarterback. That's just the way it is. And I mean, let's be honest here, right? When you have Patrick Mahomes and you have Jalen Hurts and you have Lamar Jackson, you have all these guys playing in the playoffs and Super Bowls and so forth, it's out there. People are taking this in. This is how you influence the next generation. When you have a Lamar Jackson and a guy sitting at home, he's like, I run a 4.2. I can throw the ball. I want to be Lamar Jackson. There you go. And that's how you start a new era. Cam Newton was a big dude there. Michael Vick, Randall Cunningham before him. I think that's probably the best way to put it, is that you're going to have those influences and why these guys will all of a sudden just pop up. And you're like, whoa, it seems like we have this kind of revolution of this running quarterback thing. Remember how the running quarterback, they were trying to kill that off? I mean, RG3 and Colin Kaepernick took the league by storm. And I hate saying that. God, I hate saying that so much because it's not true, but it kind of is. It just, at least it conveys my point. But remember RG3, everyone was talking about him. Colin Kaepernick, everyone was talking about him. Their running ability was great. But as soon as they asked RG3 and Colin Kaepernick to be pocket passers, their career went from, ooh. That's how it went. That was their career. Like, it was going up, and then all of a sudden it's like, nope. Because you can't ask somebody who is a dual threat. We talked about this the other day with Trey Lance. You can't ask somebody who's a dual threat to not be a dual threat. Now you're just making them ordinary. They don't play the position to be ordinary. If you tell Lamar Jackson to just throw the pocket, you're not getting Lamar Jackson. You're getting an NFL pocket passer. That does not mean it's going to be Lamar Jackson. You're getting a default face. That's what it is. You're getting Joe Random. He's good enough to play in the NFL, but he's not Lamar Jackson. You got to let them be them. And so, the NFL kind of flirted with that whole idea of like, oh, coaches were like, I don't know, should we let them run? It's like, what do you mean let them run? I understand it's a dangerous game, but like, good Lord. All right, so BYL, I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. Not really, because 144 people are in here on YouTube and 3 are on Kick. So 147 people total. Justin Fields is not a better passer than anybody in this class. The class that just came out, Justin Fields is not a better passer than any of them. Mark Xavier knew where I was going with the Joe Random, default MLB creative player. So Justin Fields can be something in this league. He can develop as a passer. His passing has not translated to the NFL level. It has not. And it's okay to admit that, but we have to stop acting like this guy's a top 10 quarterback for his own good. I mean, this is the same guy. He came in, played one preseason game and said, wow, that was easy. The game's slow. And then the next game, he got belted in the head. Yeah, you don't think the defense took that personally? Anyway, my point, Justin Fields can run for 1,000 yards all he wants. But he's not going to be respected as a top quarterback if he's not actually throwing the football. It's not really that hard. If a guy is a passer, okay, he's a passer. But if he's only running the ball and only throwing 77 to 120 yards a game, that's not a quarterback. That's a running back that can throw. I mean, that's basically what he is right now. The difference between Taysom Hill and Justin Fields, there's not really a difference. Taysom Hill just doesn't start at quarterback. I mean, Justin Fields is a lot faster, but like that's what Justin Fields really is. He's kind of a one-trick pony right now. They need to figure out how to teach him how to play quarterback. And by all means, this is the year. Like, he could really make that next leap. But I'm not like jumping up and down over his running ability because we've seen this movie before. And like you brought up, RG3 and Colin Kaepernick. If he runs enough, where now his coach or his, the owner or the GM or whatever is like, can't have Justin run. What is Justin doing? Justin's only surviving in this league right now because he can run. That's the scary thing. That's not good. So I don't want to, crap all over his record-breaking season as a runner, but, he's got to be able to add a little bit more of an arsenal because there are things called spies, right? There are ways to scheme around a quarterback that can run like that. Look at Kyler Murray. Remember Kyler Murray? Remember how dominant he was that one year? And we thought he was becoming something special? Well, look at how quickly teams figured him out. He's going to have to change his everything, really. Like, he struggles to read the defense down the field. He doesn't outrun guys anymore, and that's the nature of it, guys. Like, the running quarterbacks and everything, that's great and all, but what do you think the NFL is going to do to combat that? What do you think teams are going to do? They're going to go out and get Nolan Smith, who's running a 4.3. And now, Justin Fields, who's rolling to his right and he's planning on running to the outside, now he's getting chased down, grabbed by the shoestrings by Nolan Smith. Really that simple. If they can't be a passing threat without running, then they're not dual threat. That just makes them a mobile quarterback. They got to be as deadly passing as they can run. I agree with that. Like, I agree with that to an extent. They can't, like, Kaepernick could still throw the ball. He wasn't like pedestrian quarterback. And RG3 had a really good arm. But when you take away the running ability and you force these guys to be pocket passers, now you're hurting them. That's what I was saying. Yeah, the thing that's weird is that Colin Kaepernick was a much better quarterback at Nevada. Like, he was a better pocket passer at Nevada. And then he got to the league and, like, I don't know, he just kind of lost it. I mean, that's basically what Justin Fields is right now. If you're throwing 77 yards a game and you're running for 180, you're playing like a triple option in college. That's what it's like. Guys, did anyone check out the preseason games? Steve, Jake, is Stetson Bennett a second stringer forever, or could he be a franchise QB? I mean, I think he could be a franchise quarterback. I'm not like hitching my wagon to that, but I'm not saying he can't. I'm not going to be the guy that says Stetson can't be anything. I mean, I think that's definitely possible he can be something one day. I think it would be extremely ignorant and just basically following the leader to be like, yeah, you know, I think he's just a guy. He's just a guy. Like, everyone just says that. Oh, he's 44 years old. Good joke. I have not heard that one before. It's only the 131st time I've heard that. But no, I think he could be something. Let's see here. What was I going to look up? What was I going to say? I totally lost my mind. Oh, preseason. What? Any takeaways from preseason last night? Veteran mentor for Stafford. Oh, good Lord, Jeremiah. Yeah, we've heard it all. Yeah, Ivan Pace. I liked him coming out of the draft. I was shocked he went undrafted, I believe. I couldn't believe he was undrafted. Rodgers was a backup for 4 years. Age isn't important when a quarterback starts, as long as you're not like Kurt starting at 29. I mean, yeah, age isn't everything. This is a position that it's hard for us to fathom how Tom Brady can play to 46, but he did. Like, this is a position now that has had trailblazers in this industry, and they've played longer than, you know, normal. And I think it now pushes other guys to want to be like that. That's why I think Stafford retires at 40. So I agree with you. I mean, yeah, Houston needs to protect CJ Stroud. Good God, man. Good Lord. He like never had time. Yeah, the line just looked terrible. I think Stroud will be okay. I definitely think Stroud will be okay. I thought the one that felt like the one that really felt like the game was too fast for him was Jaren Hall. Jaren Hall looked like, and I mean, his line was getting killed in the Seahawks Vikings game. Jaren Hall seemed like the game was too fast for him. You know who I thought played well despite the fumble and interception? Drew Lock. I thought Drew Lock had a good game. I really did. I saw some really nice throws from Lock. I thought he did a nice job looking guys off and manipulating with his eyes, moving around, minimal, you know, movement, manipulating the pocket. I liked what I saw out of Drew Lock, especially on the touchdown drive to, I believe it was Jake Bobo. Yeah, Andrew Booth got cooked by Jake Bobo. Exactly. Hey, say what you will about the guy's name. Jake Bobo balled out. He looked really good. The other guy that looked good, what the hell was his name? Broback or whatever. I don't know. I'll look it up now. Might as well, right? Yeah, it was It was Bryant Kobeck. He had a good game. Jalen Reagor looked good. Ty Chandler looked good. I thought Jordan Addison had a nice toe drag swag. Nick Mullins threw a dart to Nick Muse. And I thought Mullins played really well. Ehlers looked fun to watch. I mean, he was 4 for 4, 43 yards, and then he took off and ran for, a long 22-yard scamper. But, man, Ehlers' touchdown throw was hideous. This guy just chucks it up there, and Matt Landers comes down with it. It's such an underthrown ball, and he gets away with it. I'm just like, bro, I'm sitting there. I'm like, you got to be kidding me right now. That's one of those you live to play another down. That's one of those things where stats do not mean you make the team. Any NFL coach is looking at that like that's a problem. He threw a touchdown. I don't care. That's a problem. That's a Johnny Manziel move. That's a Johnny Manziel play. I don't want that. And then what else? There was a couple other guys. I wrote down some notes here. Guys that stood out to me because I actually rewatched it this morning because I was streaming during this time. Luigi Villain had a nice sack. I thought he played well. Villain, kind of a under the radar guy out of Wake Forest, his second year. No one's really talking about Luigi. Played well. On the Seahawks side of the ball, Levi Bell had a sack. Bobo was definitely, I would say, the player of the game for the Seahawks. I thought he played well. For the Vikings, I'd probably say Nick Mullins. Actually, I'd probably say Drew Lock still. I know he had the interception and the fumble, but I thought Drew Lock, he had 2 bad plays, and those were the 2 bad plays. I thought he played really well. The Texans and Patriots game, Tank Dell looks like a problem. Like, Tank Dell really looks good. I'm going to say that right now. Yeah, I see Darren's comment. Tank Dell is going to be a slot god. Yeah. Tank Dell looked like a problem. He just looks way faster than most of the other guys in the secondary. Route runner, really nice. He did a nice head fake. I forget who was covering him. But yeah, he schooled him off the line of scrimmage. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, he's got to catch that ball because the ball came out. Like, he dropped it and then he caught it. It was like the weirdest touchdown catch. Davis Mills looked good. Case Keenum looked good. Xavier Valade didn't play anywhere near as much as I thought he was going to, so that was kind of disappointing. Only 4 carries for 8 yards. I thought Tyquan Thornton came down with a nice 27-yard grab that stood out to me. And then who was it? I really liked Henry To'o. I like the way he moves. I'm excited for that. I have him in IDP. Perryman had a sack, and so did Kurt Heinisch. And then on the Patriots side, Daniel Aquale, he had a good game. And then I'm just gonna say this right now: Christian Gonzalez had some nice pass breakups. I like him a lot. I understand he's a first round pick, but he really stood out to me. Christian Gonzalez. He fell for whatever reason, but man, he plays the trail technique well. And I liked what I saw out of him. So it was limited. Bailey Zappi looked good per usual. I mean, at this point, I know it's only preseason, but are we sure Bailey Zappi isn't better than Mac Jones? I don't know. I mean, he's looked better than I expected. It's a hell of a throw to Thornton. I still think the throw of the night, no doubt about it, was Drew Lock fitting it in between two defenders. I don't even know how he got it in there, but he fit the ball in between two defenders and threw a touchdown to Aesop Winston Jr., former guest of Downtown Rams. That was cool. That was a hell of a throw. It was a laser, needed to be. It was right on there. So that was cool to see. Malik Cunningham, he made two guys miss. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he's a quarterback. I really don't think he is. I heard that he was working at wide receiver, so I don't know what they're going to do with him. But yeah. McSorley barely played, though. That was kind of weird. So I don't know if Malik Cunningham is going to be the third or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it was an interesting little night for football. Nothing too crazy. I thought, the highlight of the night was probably the way Tank Dell played, the explosiveness that he showed. One of those guys just kind of, I thought, turned some heads. So tonight we have Packers, Bengals, Giants, Lions, Falcons, Dolphins, Steelers, Bucks, Commanders, Browns, and Broncos and Cardinals. So in those games, Packers, I doubt we see Jordan Love, but we will get to see the USFL hero, the MVP of the USFL, Alex Magoo, who I think is going to win that backup job because I think he's better than Sean Clifford. I mean, it's really that simple. So we'll see plenty of Alex Magoo fresh off his, the last time we saw him, he won the USFL championship. And then the Bengals here, we're going to see, so Alex Magoo taking on Jake Browning or Trevor Siemian is what I would say there. Then the Giants and Lions, the Giants are going to be throwing probably Tyrod Taylor or Tommy DeVito out of Illinois, the rookie, going against the Lions, who will be playing, I don't know. I mean, they're not Goff, and I don't think Teddy Bridgewater. I think Hendon Hooker and Adrian Martinez and Nate Sudfeld, probably. Let's see, who else? Then we got Falcons and Dolphins. Falcons will probably start Logan Woodside and Taylor Heineke. I don't know. Ritter might get in there. I think Ritter will probably play. He could use the reps. Dolphins, Mike White, Skylar Thompson. So we'll see some Devon A-Chain. Cool, cool stuff there. Steelers, Mason Rudolph, Mitch Trubisky, and Tanner Morgan. We'll probably see all three of them. Maybe see some Kenny Pickett. I don't know. Buccaneers, I think we see everybody. I think we see Baker Mayfield, Kyle Trask, and John Wolford. That's what I think is going to happen. Commanders and Browns. So the Commanders here, I mean, I could see them. I don't know. I could see them rolling with Sam Howell to start. I think we're going to see Brissett and Jake Fromm. And then the Browns, will see exactly what we saw in the Hall of Fame game. I don't think Deshaun Watson plays. He might play. But I think we'll see more DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Kellen Mond, along those lines. And then on NFL Network at 10 p.m. on Eastern time, if you're up, Broncos and Cardinals. So at that point, that's going to be interesting because Kyler's hurt. So they're probably going to have to start whoever's starting. Russell Wilson, I doubt plays, so it'll probably be Ben DiNucci or Jarrett Stidham. And then the Cardinals, I mean, they added Clayton Tune. So I think it'd be Clayton Tune. Oh, yeah, they got plenty of quarterbacks. Blau, Tune, Jeff Driscoll, and Colt McCoy. So they'll probably all play. So, yeah. Interesting stuff there. Those are just quarterbacks, but didn't Charlie Jones, suffer an injury? Or am I just losing my mind? Charlie Jones. I don't know. I guess he's okay. I saw a weird tweet that sounded like it suggested he was done, but I mean, Hendon might not be cleared. I don't know how it's going to work. But I mean, if redshirting him, he could still play his preseason. Thoughts on Bryce Young? I think he's going to be really good. I think he's incredibly smart, and I think people just look at his size and they really underrate what that guy can do. Do I think Byron Young is going to be a hidden gem? I don't know how hidden he is, but I definitely could see that. I think he's going to be great for them. Did I watch the Manzano documentary on Netflix? I did not, no. I got way too much to watch. I got Quarterback. I got Twisted Metal. Alexis wants me to watch the whatever Daisy Jones and the Six. I still got to watch The Bear. Gary wants me to watch what the hell is it called? Only Murders in the Building. I got so many stuff. And I probably won't get to most of them because I'm just going to be streaming so much. I mean, that's kind of that's normal, letting assistants coach. I mean, Kevin O'Connell was calling the plays all preseason when he was with the Rams, so I think that's pretty normal. I don't look too much into that. Yep, Alex wants me to watch Signs. Has wanted me to watch Signs for a while. 11 likes away from 100. That is our goal every single live stream on YouTube. Yeah. So I haven't gotten the X check yet. We'll see how much I get paid, but X did finally accept me to the monetization program, which is cool, which I definitely won't be complaining about. Let's see. I love when I have something queued up and then I totally botch it. What's up, Alan? At quarterback tomorrow, I'm going to lean Stetson, but I know that they're considering playing Rippon. I know that they're considering that. I hate sneezing, man. I hate it. It makes me mad. God, that's so annoying. It's just an annoying act, you know? It's just something I don't want to have to do. Oh, the Jets are on TV tomorrow, too. So 4 p.m., the Jets and Panthers, and then the Rams are on at 9 with the Chargers. So here's the deal for tomorrow, okay? I'm going to be live throughout the whole game. So I'm going to be live throughout the whole game. Hopefully you'll be in here. We'll hang out. It's going to be a watch party. I will not be airing the game because that's copyright. But we will be here hanging out. And then after this, I'm hoping you all join me over on Bleacher Report. I will do a post-game show on Bleacher Report. And then after that, if I'm even awake or if I'm not tired, which I probably won't be, I'll go live on Kick and just do some gaming. We'll stream that. So, Gabriel, appreciate that. Whatever happened to our backup running back, Darrell Henderson? Is our backup running back as good as him? All right. I'm going to piss some people off. I don't think anybody on the roster is as good as Henderson except for maybe Cam. I'm a big fan of Henderson. I don't know what the deal is with him right now, but just his ability in pass pro, his ability in the receiving game, just the fact that he finds a hole, he just hits it. There you go. What's up, Frankie Too Sweaty? Jake, why is it that sometimes your live streams have one or no commercials, and then other days I see like 10 plus commercials? Just curious, hope it means something good. Depends what kind of commercials you're talking about. So essentially, if you're talking about Aura, Neuro or Mint Mobile, those I have to manually do, and I'll forget to do them at the end. And I don't have to do them. It's just, it helps. Like, I'm just going to be, the effort of being transparent as possible. If you guys click links for Neuro, Aura, or Mint Mobile, and you sign up, I get a commission. Okay, and it's a fat commission. It's probably the most of any of the affiliate links. So I'll throw that out there, right? So, but I also have to, I have to put that out. So I have to manually put those videos in the live stream at the end. But the YouTube ads, that's all on YouTube. They've been doing this auto ad thing, and if it's ridiculous, then I can't really control it. So yeah, there's sometimes they do the YouTube ads. I think they're pushing more and more lately, because I've heard that. Sorry if you guys are getting plastered with ads. That's not my intention. I just hit auto so I don't have to deal with it, and it helps me get paid a little bit, because again, this is my full-time job. So I have to pay the bills one way or another, but it's just it's very weird because I've heard that some people are like, I've had streams where you were live for 4 hours and there were only 2 ads, and then I've had streams where you're live for 30 minutes and there are 10. And I'm like, I just don't even know why YouTube does that, because I think there's a better way to do that, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's how that works. Also, guys, I'm going to ask you, because it's a shameless thing at this point. We have 351 followers on Kick, and I will be over there after this stream. I'm going to take a little bit of a break and kind of, eat and everything. And then I'm going to go back over on Kick and game a little bit. So if anyone's interested in more content, right? If anyone's interested in more of my content and just a little bit different, but also they like the engagement and they like the idea of I answer questions. If you're into that, definitely go and follow my Kick channel. Like I said, I'm at 351 and it's a little more difficult, so I could really use your help, because what it comes down to is there are a lot of people that went to Kick from Twitch, and those things, they're easy to transfer. You have people that already watch Twitch and they go over to Kick. But it's harder to get YouTube people to join. And I'm trying to get verified status. And if I think it's 1,000, if I get 1,000 people on here and I start really growing this thing, once I get to 1,000, I can get that check mark. When I get that check mark, then it's really going to push my stuff. It's going to boost my streams on Kick to the front page. So that's the cool thing. But if you haven't already and you want to help me out, and I'll be honest, you don't even have to go, if you don't want to ever do it again, it is what it is. I totally understand. But give it a shot if you haven't already. There's the link. I'm just constantly pushing this thing because, I got to at this point. We're growing on YouTube, so I'm just going to keep pushing Kick and growing on Kick. And, that's really that. Jake, this is probably a really stupid question. Nonsense, Steve. No question stupid. But just out of curiosity, what is the largest donation, or what's the biggest you've seen on your okay. So you're saying the biggest donation on YouTube. I can probably find that. Here, let me see. I'm going to look at analytics. Like I said, transparent over here. I don't lie about anything. Okay. Let's see. Biggest donation. What would I even look up to find that? Go to revenue. And then biggest donation. What's supers? Okay, yeah, it is supers. And then so super chat. All right, I highlight that. And then the secondary metric. Bro, I don't even know. Daily. I don't know if it's going to give it to me. Nope, that didn't help. That bar chart was really stupid. Okay. I could tell you on September 5th, 2021, that's the most I've ever had in a day. September 5th, 2021, I think there was probably a big donation, but I made $210. So September 5th, 2021, I made 210. I had a lot of people, either a lot of people donate or one person donate a big thing. I don't remember exactly. I can't, it doesn't give me that, but oh yeah. Well, McAfee cleans up on donations. He cleans up on the affiliate because he was affiliated with FanDuel for so long. So those affiliate links. Yeah, probably. Matthew Plowden definitely was part of it. It was the Dark Saver. I think it was that one where the Dark Saver was like, I'm gonna donate $100. I'm gonna hit you with $100 super chat if you can like name all the 29 quarterbacks that played for the last 29 quarterbacks that have started for the Rams. And I did it on stream. That's probably what it was. Do I see Tyler Johnson contributing to the offense? I don't know. I think they're probably just going to try to keep him on the roster just to keep him. You're probably looking down the line, maybe. I think you're more likely to see Robinson over Johnson, but I like both of them, and I want to keep both of them for sure. Yeah, donations on so anyway, the super chats on YouTube and then the subs on Kick are pretty much the same thing. And they go a long way. Because here's the thing, it's like if I did it on Twitch, it'd be 50-50. Twitch gets 50, I get 50. What the hell's the point of that? But on here I get 70-30, which is a good split. And on Kick I get 95-5. So that's why so many people are using Kick now, because it's like it's great for, it's great for creators. The worst Super Bowl winning team this century. Oh man. I don't know. I kind of lean towards that that Patriots team that beat the Falcons. I didn't think that they were that great. But I don't know if they're the worst. Spygate Patriots. Oh, single individual? Yeah, it wasn't giving me that, but I mean, I could probably find it. It's just going to take a little bit. Revenue per transaction. Okay, so the biggest one was... Damn it. Maybe it's in the members tab. No, supers tab. Let's say here. Oh, see all. Okay. I know Darius Hines is near the top. Matthew Plowden, Darius Hines. Zakwa. I'm looking. Let's see. Darius, Matthew. Darius, Matthew. Matthew. Oh, there's 50 from Matthew. So that's the most so far. In 2022, 50 again. 50. I'm still looking. Oh, there's 100 from Matthew on March 23rd, 2022. All right. So far, it's Matthew's 100. All right, we're now in. Okay, $130, the Dark Saver. I think that's 150, the Dark Saver. And that was that was the one. I named all the quarterbacks, the 29 quarterbacks that started for the Rams, the last 29 in 2021. That was the one. So yeah, 150. Yep. And fun fact, my first ever super chat was from DC on January 15, 2021, my first day being monetized. I'm on the East Coast. I live in upstate New York. Are we drafting a new franchise quarterback next year, Jake, or something else? Trade pick or get like an edge? Fernando, I think that there's a pretty darn good chance they're going to draft another quarterback, but I don't think they're going to take a super high quarterback. You signed up for Kick, Alex? Yeah, just search J.K. Bogan and you should find me. So yeah, Steve, to answer your question, the Dark Saver gave me 150. Man, it is hot in here. I'm putting the fan on. I don't like how it interferes with the sound in the microphone, but I need it. Why am I a Kansas, St. Louis, LA fan? So my family, I have a bunch of family on my dad's side that lives in Lawrence, which is where Kansas is, the Kansas University. They worked at the university. My uncle, my Uncle Bob was the fire marshal for, I don't know, 20, 30 years. I mean, he's been there for a while, and then he retired recently. Yeah, I just have a lot of family there, and I've been a fan since I can remember. The Rams, my dad grew up in Irvine, California, so for the most part, like, he liked the majority West Coast teams, mainly LA teams. And then when he moved to New York, like, he became a Yankee fan. So that's why I'm kind of all over the place. And then hockey is just, take everything that I have for hockey as me. Okay. I don't have any upbringing in hockey. None. It's always been me. So. Oh boy. 150, but you got to give him a trivia question and make it answer. If you can't answer, it's no dinero. Best place to get a pie in New York. Damn. What do I want to do there? How do I want to go about this? New York's big. It's not just New York City. But if I'm going New York City, I'm going to say Praviti. It's a hole-in-the-wall place right in Manhattan. When you get out of the train station, Grand Central, I don't know exactly where you're going, but it's somewhere by there. It's called Praviti Pizza. And the buffalo chicken pizza, they're the only ones that know how to do a buffalo chicken pizza right. I'm going to piss off some people, and I don't even care. Ready for this? Buffalo chicken pizza is a topping, okay? I don't want buffalo sauce to replace the pizza sauce. Like, I don't know if you are, you own a pizza joint or whatever. Stop doing that. Stop it. The whole point is that the sauce combines with the topping of the buffalo chicken. The buffalo sauce doesn't need to replace the pizza sauce. Thin crust. Gotta be New York style. If you're getting pizza in New York, it better be thin crust. Unless you're getting Detroit style. If you're getting Detroit style, there's a place 20 minutes from me, Saratoga. It's called Walton Whitman's Brewery. And they have the best Detroit style pizza I've ever had in my life. They have this, what is it? Buffalo, not buffalo. Well, they have buffalo. I don't really like their buffalo. They got this Korean barbecue Detroit style pizza. It is phenomenal. It is so good. Dave Portnoy was just there the other day, and he gave it a pretty high grade. He gave it like a 7-8, which is crazy for Detroit style. So, yeah. Chinese crab rangoon pizza. He says it's great in KC. I don't know about that, because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't really even like crab rangoon. I don't like how, I don't like how sweet it is. I don't know. It's too sweet for me. Playoff hockey is the best sport to watch. I love playoff hockey. Oh my God, do I love playoff hockey. I think hockey might be the best place to see any sport. Like, if you see hockey in person, I think that's the best sport to see live. Cereal is not a pizza topping, Jeremiah. No, no, no. Have I been to SoFi? I have not, Jay. I want to. I'm not trying to incite a riot like Kai Cenat, but I would hope that people would show up and want to meet me. I can't say I'm going to be giving away PS5s or anything, because I'm not trying to get arrested, but yeah. I mean, we could give stuff away on this channel. I think that works. How far is SoFi from Irvine? I don't know. Is it, Chad, is it like 45 to 50 minutes? Hell yeah, Mark Xavier. I mean, I went to LA 3 years in a row. I went to Sean McVay's second ever game coached. He lost to the Redskins. I went and saw the Rams beat the Saints. I went and saw the Rams beat the Packers. Oh, I'm good. 45 minutes. Okay, so I was close. Man, we're close to 1,000 views on this live stream. It's pretty sick. Fernando, I'm with you there. No, Patrick, mayonnaise is not an instrument. Oh, man. You either know or you don't know what I'm just saying right now. But, Edwin, you made me laugh. We'll just say that. I seen Todd Gurley's first game, and Michael Vick came in for Roethlisberger. I'm a huge Vick fan. Oh, damn. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I've seen... Do you guys remember the game where... what was it? It was Mark Bulger versus Matt Castle with the Patriots. Donnie Avery caught like a bomb. Yeah, I saw that. I was at Gillette. Saw that. I saw the Rams-Bills game when it was Fitzpatrick, I believe, versus Sam Bradford. And Bradford let him down the field and scored the game-winning touchdown to Brandon Gibson. That was sick. We were still in the playoff race then. It was like one of the last games of the year. It was cold. The coldest day of my life, Buffalo, New York. When you think of New York, you don't think pizza? Oh, man. When I'm in New York, I always think about pizza and bagels. You're not going to find better pizza and bagels, in my opinion. You're just not. New York is the capital of that. Bagel and pizza capital of the world. Ultraman Jake? What about Ultraman? Yeah. There's a lot of Steelers fans in New York. There's some decent amount of Rams fans too. I think people sleep on the Rams fan base. They're kind of all over the place. Mike Evans would be interesting. I'm not going to say they shouldn't, but I think he definitely could be an option. Does the 45 include always horrible LA traffic? I mean, I would assume that's what I was kind of putting in. So, I mean, it'd probably be like 25 minutes if you didn't live with that traffic. But thoughts on Bengals week 3 now, considering Burrow healthy questions? Burrow will play. I'm not going to fret much about that. Burrow will definitely play, and the Rams will have to play them at full strength, and that's totally fine. You want to beat the best at their best, you know? That's why the Bills, I think it kind of hurt the Bills a little bit. They had this sense of like, right off the rip, they beat the crap out of a team that, first off, the Rams are still in the game going into the fourth quarter. And secondly, the Rams are banged up to all hell the moment the freaking game started. So, where the Ninja Turtles live? What? It's true. That is true. Oh, man. So, guys, do me a favor. Takes 30 seconds to sign up. And you can sign up, I think, using a Gmail account. Like, it's just automatic. Like, you can just use an email, and you don't have to go through the whole process. Definitely go. Sign up for a Kick account. Follow me on there, and help your boy out. I'm just begging at this point. I think really what it is, I'm really just trying to translate my YouTube viewership, because here's the thing. I'm not taking away from YouTube. Kick is simulcasted. So all the JE Lives go on Kick and YouTube. But the things I can't do on YouTube, or I, want to keep separate from YouTube, it's on Kick. So it's not taking away from anybody here. And I think it's just added value. So, yeah. Yeah, you just type J.K. Bogan in the search if you're on the app right now. And you'll come up. It'll be a nice little graphic. If you do it before the stream ends, of course. Where are we at now? Damn, YouTube is growing. 18,764 subscribers. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. I stream most of the time during the week. I put out videos. I haven't been in the video mood. And I don't feel like you guys are in the video mood because we interact here. But I will put out videos. And I'm going to start clipping these more. So if you miss a live stream and you don't want to watch the whole thing, totally understand it. I'm going to start clipping the best moments for the people that don't want to go through a full live stream to rewatch. Because I get you. I've been there before. What's up, Alex? See, you made it. Now you just got to hit the follow button. Hey, there we go. Let's go. 352, baby. 352 followers there. I mean, I think we can keep going. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Alex. Exactly. That'll be the thing. Plus, keep in mind, guys, it's not just me on this channel. Like, Cam and I are going to be coming out with 2 episodes a week. We'll be covering, so this is our plan. Mondays, we're going to be coming out with the reaction takeaways, just kind of like recapping, the week 1 or whatever week it is, recapping the games. Friday will be our preview show. we only have 48 minutes tops to cover all 32 teams, so we're going to do our best. And then we have Believe in Rams. So there's going to be about 4 shows, a week. Then you have Downtown Rams. Then you have, I have phone-in questions. Definitely could. But do you know how to get in on the phone-in questions? Do you know how to do that? You guys aren't eligible to get in on the phone-in questions if you aren't registered for our Discord. So our Discord link is right there. It's free. You go in the Discord, you put your questions in there, and I think during the season I'll bring people on in the voice chat, and I'll just have them answer questions, and we'll do it that way. We've done it that way in the past, and it goes well. So I think that's how I want to do it this year. We'll do Q&A or whatever, voice Q&A. So, yeah. I dropped the link. It's free. We got 485 members. So that's cool. 485 members. We're 15 away from 500. That's half of 1,000 in our Discord. Cool stuff. We'll be doing giveaways in there, all sorts of stuff, but yeah. So Aaron Donald and Matthew Stafford have come out saying they're in the best shape of their life. Oh, Lord. What's the YouTube schedule times these days? So I just kind of gave up on a schedule. We'll have more of a carbon copy schedule based on like what is happening with the NFL. But this is all I can say. Guaranteed, I will be doing watch parties for every single NFL primetime game. Done deal. Okay? I'm hoping this will allow us to grow tenfold. Like I really think this is our exponential growth, our ascending to the moon type of year. I really think it is. I know it's crazy to say because we're almost like we're more than halfway to the end of the year, but the season, the growth during the NFL season is just crazy. So I think it's going to be a huge year. Yeah, boring Thursday night games. Make them fun. What else are we doing, right? It's football. You throw it on. You throw on JE Live, and I talk with you guys. We watch the same game, So, yeah, all the primetime games I'll be doing watch parties for. That's the carbon copy plan. I guess, you know what? I can put out a schedule. I'll put out some sort of a schedule, kind of giving you the idea of like when days are. Times will vary. So I'll make that very clear. Times will vary. Plus, I will randomly ask Alex in the chat. We played Warzone last night, and after we won, I was so excited to play again. And then I started having issues, and then my internet just had an outage. Then I came back and I couldn't play the game. It was just unplayable. So I just raided out all of my audience essentially, which was great. Glad I did that. There you go. Second season of Winning Time is now on my list. Oh, I can't wait to watch that. Am I playing fantasy football this year? So I am. And I'll drop a link if anyone wants to do it. We're actually doing an underdog fantasy league. Let's see here. So we need 9 more to start to draft and everything. Hey, Steve, appreciate you. So that's the link. You can join our league. We got 9 more spots, and it's a slow draft. So you get, I think it's like 8 hours to pick. So no rush at all. And yeah, I can do more leagues throughout the year, of course, but Lakers are getting banner 18 before the Celtics. AD signed a 3-year deal, which I don't think I talked enough about. I'm very excited about that. I don't think people realize how dominant Anthony Davis is. I don't get it. I don't think people realize that. YouTube co-hosts. All right, so here's what I'm planning on. Ready for this? Believe in Rams, Downtown Rams, Off the Edge, Jake Ellenbogen videos, Jake Ellenbogen live, gaming channel, so like gaming on Kick, film breakdowns on Kick, live streams every primetime game, live streams before and after every Rams game. Yeah, that's the gist of it. So a lot, like, I don't know how many of you guys, like, what you guys watch on YouTube. I challenge you to find somebody that's going to put out more content than me in 2023 this season. I don't think you will. I run with randoms. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. 353, baby. You don't know what Believe in Rams is, Alex? Okay, so Cameron Lynch, does that ring a bell? Former Rams player. Cam and I are co-hosts for Off the Edge, which is the NFL show that we do. We also do Believe in Rams, which is the Rams show we do. I also do Downtown Rams with Alexis Kraft. I'm not dropping any of that. And there might even be something else on the way. We'll see how that works. I'm just trying to kind of fit everything in my schedule. I know I can't do everything, but just fair warning, like, no one is going to outwork me this season. Nobody's going to do it. I'm not going to let it. And it's not an ego thing. I'm just like, I am so committed to giving you guys the best possible content, the most consistent content, and just growing this thing to the freaking moon. You know, if we're going to continue to build this community, I owe it to that. I owe it to you guys. I owe it to the community. Like, we got to keep it on. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's on my channel. It's also on, the Believe in Rams is on my channel. Off the Edge is on my channel as well, but there's also a separate Off the Edge YouTube. Yeah. Cameron Lynch played for the Rams in 2015, and then he played with them in 2016 and 2017 and 19, I believe. Yes, that's true. He gets married tomorrow. Gary Sheffield Jr., my guy. I can't wait till he comes back on Kick. So his son and I are friends, and we stream together. He's been a little bit away because he's getting ready for a wedding, but like his wedding. But yeah, like he comes in Discord and he, him and I just basically, we stream, we do like dual streams. It's cool. We'll play like Call of Duty, or like he'll play MLB and I'll play a different game, and we interact with the chats over on Kick. No, Gary didn't invite me. We didn't start becoming really close friends until that was already figured out. You know how long it takes to plan a wedding? And if I'm being honest, I probably wouldn't have been able to go anyway. No. He was great. He should be a Hall of Famer, but they kind of screwed him on that. I loved him growing up. I love that Yankees team. So fun to watch. What if the Rams beat Green Bay in the 2020 divisional round with a healthy AD and Cup? Do they win it all if that happens? Yeah, I mean, historically, Tom Brady has not played well against the Rams. He's honestly never played that well against the Rams. The 2 Super Bowls he played against the Rams, he didn't play well. He got carried by a defense. Yeah, honestly, I would say they'd probably win it all. Chiefs were banged up. Rams were the best defense. I don't think that's crazy. I don't think that's crazy to say that. Pretty much, Jeremiah. Like, he never really played all that well against the Rams. I actually want to see his numbers. Tom Brady has a career record of 4-3 against the Rams all time. In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, including the postseason. Oh, wait, no, this is just regular season. Oh, come on. Okay. Tom Brady has a career record of 6-4 in the regular season and playoffs against the Rams in his career. He played them 10 times. He lost the first game to the Gray Show on Turf Rams in 2001 in November. My dad was at that game at Gillette. And he had a 70.4 completion percentage. He had 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Then in the Super Bowl against the Rams, he had a 59.3 completion percentage, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and 45 yards. So the Rams held him under 200 yards both times in that season. Then they play in 2004, and Tom Brady goes 18 of 31, 58.1 completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Again, like, not bad, but like not overly great. Then he goes off on them in London in 2012, where he had a 65.7 completion percentage and 4 touchdowns. Then 2016 against the Rams, he has 1 touchdown, 71.7 completion percentage, 269 yards. Then 2019, so once he met McVay, he, let's see here. Yeah, that was the first time he met McVay. So in the McVay Rams, he has a 60 completion percentage in the Super Bowl. He throws 262 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Again, didn't play well in the Super Bowl. Then he goes against the Rams 3 times. And the first time in that in 2020, as a member of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 54.2 completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. 2021, he throws 74.5 completion percentage, 432 yards, a touchdown, 0 interceptions. And then in the playoffs, 55.6 completion percentage, 329 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. And then this past year, November, he beats the Rams, 62.1 completion percentage, 280 yards, a touchdown, 0 interceptions. He's been sacked 14 times, so averaging over a sack per game, against the Rams. And he's thrown 6 interceptions in 10 games. So he's averaging 0.6 interceptions per game and 1.4 touchdowns against the Rams. So I don't know, man. I think that they would have beaten him. I kind of stick by that. I don't know what it is. Tom Brady versus the Saints and the Rams. Like, he had one game where you could argue he was dominant, or you could say he was dominant back in London. But aside from that London game, man, Tom Brady's stats are not great against the Rams. That's just the way it is, career-wise. All right, let's catch up here. The first Rams game I went to live, Steve, was the Rams-Patriots at Gillette Stadium. It was Mark Bulger taking on, what the hell is his name? I just said earlier. Matt Castle. Donnie Avery was our star receiver. I don't even think Steven Jackson played in that game. I think he was banged up. So, yeah. That was my first to answer your question. Great question, by the way. Good to see that the Patriots dynasty is over since Brady left and now struggling without him. Alex, what McVay's record against his former assistants, I wonder? Oh boy, that would take some work. I mean, he only really loses to LaFleur. And yeah, I mean, you know, Shanahan wasn't his assistant, so so yeah, he only really loses to LaFleur. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. LOL. Did you see OBJ absolutely destroy Tyler Boyd? Really, really odd choice of words by Tyler Boyd. I like the guy, but that was stupid. You lost the Super Bowl. So the last thing I'm doing is running my mouth about this dude talking about stats. I don't know. And what's nice, Jake, is when you watch one show and then watch another one of your channels, you're not repeating yourself. It's new content. This is true. That's why I like doing shows. It's like why I like doing multiple shows, because it kind of, what it does is it puts a refocus. All right, we have to accomplish this goal. My goal is to put out NFL content for Off the Edge with Cam Lynch. And I think when we set out to accomplish that, it's vastly different than anything we're doing on JE Live or Believe in Rams or Downtown Rams or anything for that matter. And that's the that's the beauty of it. So I agree with you there. I'm glad that's how you see it as well. Was always putting quarterbacks on the bench hurt. We broke the Eagles' old boy's leg 1 year in full, stepped in and won the Super Bowl. Yeah, that was Carson Wentz. Torn ACL. I hated that so much. What do you think of Burrow's Super Bowl 56 performance? Personally, I'd give him a C minus. Stafford definitely outplayed him. Oh, 100%. I mean, that defense was ferocious. They gave him all sorts of fits. That offensive line wasn't very good. Burrow will be ready for the task, though. Next time he goes back to the Super Bowl, I expect him to win it. Cool. All right, guys. Once again, if you haven't already, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and, of course, be sure to follow me on Kick. The link is in the description. It is also pinned at the top of the comments section. I'm going to take a break now and head on over to Kick, but I'm just going to take a break first. So if you guys want to keep this train rolling, just keep in mind, JE Live is on Kick, okay? It's on Kick when YouTube is on. It's also on Kick when YouTube's off. Because all it is that when I game, I answer questions. If you guys went full force, like on Kick after I got off YouTube, if you guys were into that, like this thing will grow like crazy. So I need your help. I'm looking at you. And if you've already subbed, or not subbed, but if you followed, I'm not looking at you because you've already done it. But do me a favor. If you like the content that I spew, takes 30 seconds. Sign up now. Kick.com/JKBogan. I promise you, there's no reason you would ever regret it. So, yeah. JE Live with games and music. Exactly. That's that's basically all Kick is. Those streams, like when I don't do simulcasting, it's just another JE Live, but it's with games and music because I'm not getting copyright claimed like I would be on YouTube. That might change down the road, but for now, we're having fun playing some music and hanging out. So, that is that. But hopefully I'll see you guys over there. Be sure to check that out. Again, really does help me out. We're at 353. My goal is to hit 1,000 at some point. I don't know when we're capping that goal, but you want to talk Rams, you want to ask me about the New York Yankees, you want to ask me about the Lakers, you want to talk with me, hit me up over there. Would really appreciate it. What's up, Stelio? Appreciate you. But yeah, you guys take care, and I'll see you guys soon. I'll be over on Kick in 15 to 30 minutes. So hope to see you guys there. Later, y'all. Do you need some energy to get through the day without relying on coffee? I got just the thing for you. It's called Neuro, and I'm partnering up with them for today's video. Neuro has gum and mints to energize, calm, and focus when you need it. They were developed by former athletes who were training at the highest level and simply didn't want to take any mysterious supplements or energy drinks when studying, training, or even going out. Instead of something sugary and ineffective, they wanted to create clean and balanced energy that could be taken anytime and anywhere. Their energy and focus formula is specially formulated with natural caffeine, theanine, and B vitamins to sustain the mental endurance necessary to maintain your focus. Their calm and clarity formula is expertly developed with GABA, vitamin D3, and L-theanine to optimize composure and clarity of mind. Their health and vitality formula is specially infused with life-enhancing, immune-boosting vitamins to help strengthen and support your body. What makes Neuro different? Neuro's gone through dozens of formulations, process, and tests to ensure that each gum and mint they make delivers on their promise of getting you in the right state at the right time. Unlike other heat-extruded gum and mints, Neuro's products are created using cold compression technology, which maintains each ingredient's bioavailability. Neuro is a clean boost of energy without the jitters of coffee or an energy drink. With so many challenges and demands, it can be really hard to stay focused, and Neuro does a great job of keeping you calm, cool, and collected. Stress, fatigue, lack of focus can all impact decision-making abilities. Recently, I had been feeling sluggish and have been distracted with everything going on in my life. These Neuro mints, however, have allowed me to stay on task and have stayed calm, cool, collected, as well as alert, and I've been able to change my approach and focus on the task at hand. Go to my sponsor link now down below, tryneurogum.com/JKB to enjoy energy, calm, and focus whenever you need it. You ever get those ridiculous social media scams where people pretend to be somebody you're friends with and tell you you can make a lot of money? I know I do. It's why I'm very excited to partner with today's sponsor, Aura. Aura is an easy-to-use app that essentially packages a bunch of services to stay safe online all in one. Aura protects you from scammers and hackers. They scan the web for all sorts of data leaks and alert you as soon as they find anything. Aura is like the offensive line for a quarterback, consistently offering you protection from suspicious and malicious activity. They have a VPN built in that keeps your browsing history and personal information safe and encrypted. They'll even alert you if someone's trying to open up a credit card or a loan in your name. Did I mention they protect all your devices from viruses, malware, spyware, and any other things so the bad guys can't break in? Aura can even manage what your kids do on their devices. You can set limits and restrict them from specific apps. They have a password manager as well, so you don't have to rely on an outdated Rolodex or that sticky note that's been on your desk forever. There are apps that do all of these things, but there isn't one that tackles everything the way Aura does, which is why I say Aura is a 5-man offensive line and you're the quarterback. So head on over to aura.com/JKB. You can find it in the description and start your free trial today. Here's something you could do right now just to save some money. Switch to Mint Mobile. I'm partnering with them for today's video. You might already know Mint Mobile if you've seen those funny ads from Ryan Reynolds, who is an owner. But let me tell you quickly how awesome this service is. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for as low as $15 per month. And you don't have to sacrifice any coverage, speed, or data. They're built on the nation's largest 5G network. They keep the cost low because they sell directly to you online. Why should you pay more than you have to for access to the same network? I've had a great experience using Mint Mobile, and the thing that I love the most is that unlimited plan. It got me out of a bind on a 23-hour drive down to Florida. I was able to use it, and it was super fast, and I highly recommend it. Lucky for you, switching to Mint is super easy. Thanks to their digital eSIM cards, you can sign up and activate immediately right from your phone from the comfort of your own home. They cut out the retail stores and salespeople. No more standing and waiting around at a big wireless store. You can keep your current device and phone number and easily switch services. And if your phone isn't eSIM compatible, Mint will ship you a new SIM card free of charge. My experience using the eSIM card was relatively simple. I just went into the cellular data and I went to secondary and I put in the eSIM card. It was that easy. All Mint Mobile plans do include unlimited nationwide talk and text, plus lightning fast 5G and free mobile hotspot. Mint will show you how much data you use each month and recommend plans that save you money. Mint also offers a modern family plan that sets you up a super affordable family plan with as little as 2 lines. Use my link in the description to get premium wireless starting as $15 a month at mintmobile.com/JKB. Stop paying more than you need to on your wireless bill and start saving big with Mint Mobile.